Your turn.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of On the Spot. I am Mac Atkins, and these are my wonderful guests. We got Ryan, Kyle, and Jordan Hunter. The first question is: so, how long have you been skating?
About 14, 15 years probably. On and off. I mean, I had 2 years off just from knee surgeries. So I lost about 2 years of skating. But other than that, about 14, 15 years.
Like, what age did you start
10.
skating? 10? Age 10?
Yeah, I'm 24 now, so that's what I'm saying, about 14 years. But I might have been like 9 and a half, 10 when I started. The only reason I started skateboarding was because my mom randomly was like, oh, there's a random summer camp for skateboarding. You want to do it? And I was like,
Do you know where it was? Or
no idea. I had no idea. Like, I'd skate, obviously, like, rolled around on a board, like, not like a real board, but like something in like my neighborhood. And then eventually, like, my mom was just like, I was doing all these basketball camps. My mom was like, oh yeah, like, you want to do the skateboard camp? Went to it and just literally bought a pair of Etnies Calicuts the day after I started skateboarding. Because I was like, this is my thing.
like, do you remember like your first ollie or
Yeah, I remember
kickflip?
all of it, yeah.
Do you know how long did it take you to ollie? Because it took me.
Ollie, I learned the first day.
Yeah, same here. But it was like very small.
Yeah, it definitely.
Yeah, but I picked up and like got off, and after that I was hooked.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it took me probably a year and a half to learn how to kickflip, which I just didn't understand it. It didn't really make sense to me of how anyone would kickflip. But, excuse me. But like I said, like ollie was real quick. I remember the first day I learned fakie big spins. It was like in the dark, like on the street, like, and I just like was trying them, and I just ended up landing it. And I was like, oh my god, my first big spin! Like, and I remember my first kickflip because I did my first kickflip on a board without trucks and wheels.
So it was a
and
board?
Yeah, just like a normal like board. Did a kickflip on it, and then I was like, oh my god, I figured it out. Went immediately to my normal board and did it. It was the.
Do you remember your first board you got? Like, was it?
Yeah.
Was it Pro or was it Walmart?
No, it was it wasn't a Walmart board. Bob, when he owned Ollie's, he had rental boards.
R.I.P.
And one of them, R.I.P. One of them was a moose blank board.
Hold on. R.I.P. Ollie's, not Bob. Bob is...
Yeah, Bob's the man.
Yeah,
Bob's the man.
He's still kicking.
Yeah, dude, it was a blank moose. It was just a normal wood stained board with they were yellow and green Venture trucks.
Nice.
And Bones, it was like 54 millimeter wheels, like, but it was before STF or like any of that stuff. And it was just like, I still had those wheels for like the longest time, and I still have those trucks somewhere in my house. Like, I remember I don't have the board obviously, but,
Right.
But yeah, that was my first board. It was just a rental board. Bob sold it to me for like $25.
Sick.
So I was like, deal.
Yeah, my first board was an Element, but it was like green on green Element. It was sick.
That's awesome.
And it was Venture trucks, and then I remember it was Big Head, the Spitfire white Big Heads with the red.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it had I think at the Lucky Bearings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, throwback, right?
Bob told me there was Bone Swiss in there, but I don't know how fucking real that was.
Yeah, I guess I'm just like... all I remember is I had a blind skateboard. I don't remember
Really?
what trucks or wheels or...
Was it a Reaper? One of the old...
It was,
Was it the Here's Johnny?
it was the Jack in the Box blind.
Oh.
I remember there was one time I
It was a
bought...
chart.
This is the first time I ever bought my first skateboard. The first time I ever bought one myself. I bought one. It had a blind board, blind wheels. They were like blue, and it had like camo grip tape and like Core trucks. Remember Core?
Yeah.
Core trucks. And I remember the next day I got stolen out of my garage.
No.
The day after I bought it. So. But yeah, I mean, other than that, you know what's really funny? I always like bring this up to like random people. Is I never thought about just replacing the deck of a skateboard. When I was younger, the only thing I did was be like, oh, I need a whole new complete.
So you just...
So like my mom would like order me like an Element Special complete online. And I was like, that's what I thought you had to replace everything at once. I didn't even like know. I mean, it only happened like 2 or 3 times, but it was just funny because I would just like replace everything. I would get like this. There was one that I got twice. It was called the Element Wind and Fire deck, and it had like element wheels, element. Yeah.
I had a pair of
had
Element
the
shoes.
white
Remember?
writing of the circle of each element. Like,
hmm
yeah, I know exactly.
Remember Element
White,
shoes?
red, white,
Yep.
red, and
I had a pair of yellow and green ones. My skate
The
shop.
only person
then
I was
had
super
it.
hyped on that on Element shoes was probably Levi Brown. That he was really sick. You don't really see anything from him anymore, which kind of sucks.
You kind of do.
It's because he's like I think he's the TM for
well,
Element and New Balance, I think
Yeah.
too.
Nah, Chad Tim's the TM for New Balance,
Oh really?
but he's the TM for Element. Yeah.
I'm building it in a little bit.
Oh no, yeah, that's cool. I was just I thought you were still on him, so you can cut me out.
No. Low key.
Cut me out of the
Nah.
group chat.
Part of the group. Part of the flow. So you grew up, started around 10. Do you have any interesting stories, younger stories? Do you have any younger...
Like skateboarding stories?
Yeah, I don't know, something you
Yeah,
remember.
I got some juicy ones.
like some good ones. Like I just want to hear
Let me
something
think
like
real
people
quick.
don't ever hear about.
Oh god.
How about that? Yeah.
We
you know
had
what?
we were very reckless. I remember can't believe I'm about to say this on camera. We used to literally we called it remember padiddle? Have you ever heard of padiddle?
Yeah.
Well, we took that to a whole nother level. It wasn't padiddle anymore. We called it diddler. And instead of doing whatever, like touching the ceiling and like taking off clothes, no, we just someone would yell diddler and we would just go destroy people's lawns, like their lawn gnomes, their lights, and like just destroy everything. And that was with all my skate friends, and I have no idea why we ever did that, but that's probably the craziest skate. Okay, oh no, here's the craziest skate story.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Remember Biggs? Like Biggs, the grocery store? Maybe that wasn't around. That might have been in Kentucky.
Yeah,
now.
it's definitely.
Do you know what Remke's is?
No, see.
You never even heard of Remke's?
No.
Okay, well,
That must
that's
be a
definitely
Kentucky
thing. Yeah. So there's this place called
Big Bear.
Remke's, but
We had
before
one.
it was called Biggs, and it closed down. And me and all my homies, my homie could drive. He was the only one that could drive. And we drove there, and we started skating in the building. Like, it was a closed down, like, supermarket, like, huge, like a Walmart, basically.
Was it just run down? Was it open or just...
No, it was like,
Closed?
they were remaking into a Lowe's.
Oh.
So, it was like this whole building. We went in, like, snuck in or whatever, and skated, like, there was, like, perfect flat gaps. There was, like a loading dock thing that we skated. There was, like, a little box thing that we made. And, we ended up, like, once we left, all of a sudden, like, we look over, there's a cop waiting for us outside, obviously. My homie, the one that drove, tries to run away, obviously falls over, gets smoked, and then the cop is like, dude, why'd you even try to run? So, like, we're, like, sitting there chilling, and, so he, like, there's, like, a trailer there, like, with someone that's, like, basically supposed to watch over the whole place. And he, like, takes us over there or whatever. As soon as the lady opens the door, the dog attacks the police officer. So, like, the lady, like, she was just like, oh, no, no. And the dog just starts, like, clawing at the police officer. And the police officer was like, you know what? You're lucky a bunch of bad kids didn't, like, show up here and, like, just destroy the whole entire place. Because you're in charge of this. If it wasn't for your dog, they would have gotten in trouble, but your dog's an asshole. So she just said that he was just like, yeah, just go. He goes, I'll deal with this lady. And we ended up getting out of it.
Nice.
Skating in an abandoned supermarket is awesome.
It's crazy. Do you remember your first sponsor?
Mm-hmm. Buckeye Skateboards.
I remember them. Are they still around or they
Oh, no.
died?
That was Bob Leffler's company.
Because I remember Robbie Herring at the time. He was like small little kid, Robbie Herring. He rode for Buckeye.
Oh, okay.
And he actually was from my hometown. He actually had a skate park ramp in his backyard at one point. Now it's
Really?
moved off and now there's a swing set because his kids have it
Oh, okay.
for his, yeah. Because
Yeah.
that was at his mom and dad's house. But yeah, I used to skate at his house all the time too. But now he's grown up. He's military. He went to the military,
Oh, okay.
come back in. But every once in a while I see him. And I don't think it skates anymore, but
Oh man, that's
He
wild.
used to be
though,
really good.
Like, on Buckeye.
yeah.
That's like like not a legendary company, but Bob just that was just crazy. I remember the first day he asked me, I was just like, oh my god, finally.
At what age was that?
Probably like 12,
12?
maybe 11, 12. I don't know. I remember like begging him all the time to be on
So
Buckeye.
you skating for at least 2 years, got sponsored right away. It's cool. And it was basically Bob seeing you at what, Ollie's and
Yeah, well, he taught me how to skate, so I mean, he
Awesome.
saw all my progression, so it was like he literally watched me grow up in skateboarding, so it wasn't like he was missing anything. Yeah, Bob was killing it.
awesome. Do you remember any? So all your sponsors again? Can you go over them?
Yeah,
Like
well,
current ones, like okay, so current ones.
current ones?
Yeah, just the current ones, and we can work our way to ones you had because I know there's a few that you've had.
Yeah, yeah.
we
some
can talk
random-
about that too.
Yeah, yeah. So right now I'm on Helical Skateboards, Red Room Skate Co., Force Wheels, DC Shoes, Am Grip, and Galaxy Skate Shop right now.
Awesome.
So that's
Which I back all those
yeah,
companies.
all
for
good
sure.
companies.
Sick.
Tight. So like your second sponsor, you can
Second sponsor.
yeah.
Um,
Oh.
I know. Okay, it was Intuition Skateboards.
Intuition.
Intuition?
Mm-hmm.
Intuition?
Wasn't that
That Tyler dude's company.
Is that a razor?
Man, I missed
Tyler
Everybody else
Snell
said
or
it, so I
whatever.
had
He
to
was
say
so
it.
cool. He was actually like,
Yeah, that dude was.
Were you really intuitive in the,
dude,
in
they
the
had
company?
they had like this Monopoly sticker. It was sick.
What are you,
the
Kelly Hart?
Monopoly? Yeah, with the
And
Monopoly
they had
guy.
a board too.
What's
They
your
still
button
have
at,
it,
Kelly
yeah.
Hart?
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's why the board company. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Tyler?
Beep, beep, beep.
He just basically
I wish
did
Kelly
a bunch
Hart-
of dabs and
Oh,
just
that's frozen,
quit doing
dude.
any
Yeah.
of it.
Look at that frozen
Pretty
figure
much.
on my shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than
Just
that,
push your
I
button.
mean, dude, I've had like so many random sponsors like throughout the years.
Crazy.
But Lakai was probably your first big sponsor, right?
No,
Hella cool.
no. I was on Etnies for a minute. I was on Under Armour.
Damn.
I was on
Under Armour hats.
Vox
For what? Under Armour for what?
I remember
for
Fox.
clothing.
Hmm.
I was on Vox. I was on,
You had all those shoe companies?
yeah.
Damn.
Vox and Etnies?
And then, then Lakai came.
And I got,
And then Lakai kind of just fell off. And then literally the day after I found out like Lakai wasn't working out, the dude from DC was just like, "Hey, do you want DCs?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Send me your address." All right.
When was that changed from Lakai to DC? Like, do you remember? Because I know it's pretty recent, isn't it?
Dude, the other day though, I saw a memory, and it's been like maybe 2 years.
2 years? Because I remember the
like
switch.
something like I did not expect it to be like that long.
'Cause I remember you were adding or hashtagging Lakai a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when I think that's when I first was watching you, because I watch you from Andy Schrock, of course,
Yeah, yeah.
because the warehouse videos, which are actually really tight.
One comes out Wednesday though. Plug. We got a
Yours?
new one, yeah.
You had no.
This Wednesday. The new fourth stuff comes out. Shredquarters.com or theshredquarters.com.
I've seen a couple T-shirts from
The
you and
best.
Brian wearing them on your little snaps.
I was just say yeah.
They do that. It's a hint.
I know.
It's the hints. Just to let people
Actually,
know.
I just bought a because there's a sale going on this weekend. Well, by the time you watch it, it's still probably this weekend. I actually bought the Brian Ames blue T-shirt. Bought that sticker pack and another sticker pack.
Have you seen any of the? Oh, you haven't seen it. Oh wait, so did you watch the Revive release one with like the new Mario stuff and the Super
Yeah,
Revive?
I got the shirt.
Yeah, did you see the the Super Mario 3 Brian Ames with the beard, the sticker? Literally the Super Mario 3 logo, but Brian Ames is the dude in it. Oh my god, so good.
Is it in that sticker pack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm getting it probably Tuesday or Wednesday.
That show is incredible.
I
They
usually
make some great
I
graphics.
usually always
They made Super Nintendo wheels for
Yeah.
Force, and I'm super hyped on
I
that.
think
It's like a controller.
I think
So
they
sick.
were. I think Andy did a video on
Yeah,
that.
he did. He had them set up already because he made like a whole Nintendo board basically.
Yeah, I seen that video.
Yeah, this shit's insane. They make a lot of really cool stuff with Revive. I just think it's funny that Revive gets brought up in all the 9 clubs.
Recently, the experience was
Yep.
brought
And
up.
No,
I
what's
actually
killing me is that
Yeah,
dude.
I've never heard him in their 9 clubs.
the
Really?
experience.
Maybe
It's been in
once
like
in
3
the
or 4
experience.
times.
It comes
Well,
up.
twice actually. I've heard of it twice in the experience.
This recent one,
But
the
not
one was
9
fucked
clubs,
up.
though.
The-
You know, because like
Raj
Jay
called
Adams
him
is
out.
never gonna probably talk about.
Oh, no,
Revive,
definitely
I
not.
mean, He probably don't even know what they.
It comes up on the experience though because people called in. Like that one dude called in and was
Yeah.
like, "Excuse me."
much.
He was like, you know,
That's too much.
he was like, "Hey, like all the
That's too
people
much.
in Nike don't skate," and then all that shit. And then Raj was like, "What? No, they all skate." And then he said something
that
about
shit.
like Revive not being a legit company. And then Raj was like, "No, they're legit. They're killing it.
Yeah, well,
Revive makes
guys
more
need me
board
to run
sales
on
than
this?
anything does, than any other
I'm
company."
trying to go smoke a cigarette.
You know what? I'm gonna interview you. When did you start skating?
well, good point.
Well,
Well. No, I started back back in 8th grade.
how old are you now? If you don't mind me asking.
I just turned a week ago. Like I literally just turned 32.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad.
I got some age.
That's
I'm an aged old skater. That's exactly why I'm doing this series, is to just because I can't do tricks like my prime was 10 years ago. Like I haven't landed a kickflip in 10 years. I can still nollie shove it manual like crazy. Like Danny. Okay, so the first time really actually skating with Danny was last summer. I was at Ollie's, and he was there, and I was starstruck at the first meeting him. Like it was like, dude, it's Danny, it's Beanie, like crazy. So I went up to talk to him.
That just it just geeks me out.
I know.
Being starstruck for Beanie because it's just Beanie.
But I'm a manual person. He's a manual person.
Okay. I
And-
definitely see that then because he's like
And he's a tech dude, and I'm like, I love that shit.
make Ultra Tech.
Make ultra. Shout out, dude. Shout out.
Shout out Beanie. I love you, buddy. You
Anyway.
little fucker.
Anyway, and actually, he got like a small, we filmed a small portion. It's actually on a video I made called Goner, my Goner part, which I don't know if you've seen it yet. If you got it, you're missing out. It's basically I filmed myself skating, and it's same tricks, but he's like, I'll give you 5 tries to manual, probably from this line all the way as far as you can. I was like, I'll do it in 2. Did it in 1 try.
Hell yeah.
Far. He's like, that's far. I'm like,
I'm not
first
manual
try.
boy.
Fly
I'm not
crab
manual
boy.
guy.
I'm pretty sure the longest manual I have had. So our school has a practice field for the band, and it's on a parking lot. I've done the whole 100 feet. I
Okay.
went from 0 to 0 line. Yeah, that's on record, and it's actually on a
That's
video.
some legendary shit.
Like it's on an old video, not even on YouTube.
What are you making?
What are you?
Yeah, I'm getting a slice. I'll fuck Ryan up.
But yeah,
Sorry,
no, I
I
started.
smelled pizza and I had to.
But back
had
to your original question, I started skating like, I don't even know what year, like 2001, 2002, 8th grade. End of 8th grade, and I actually started skating in the summer before my 9th grade. So
Okay, that's not bad.
And yeah, my first, like I already said, like my first board, I even mentioned it when I was interviewing James, which is my buddy that I've been filming forever, was an Element, Venture Trucks, blah, blah, blah. But we both got our first boards at the same place.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is Galleons in Dublin,
Okay.
which is now Dick's. But they had like a small
Really?
skate. Yeah, they had a small skate shop at the top. And that's where I got my boards. And
When I was younger, it's funny. Dick's, they had Spitfire wheels for like $7 because they were just getting rid of all the skateboarding stuff.
right.
So they just had literally $7 Spitfires. So all of me and my homies, they were all yellow, obviously, because they've been sitting there for God knows how long.
Was white, then turned yellow because
Yeah.
of the sun.
Yeah.
Damn.
So we were just chilling, like, and we like went and grabbed like 3 pairs. They were all just like, excuse me, yellow and like deteriorated and shit. But $7 Spitfires, you can't fucking beat that. I mean, I obviously ride for Force now.
Right.
And Force,
And
honestly, competes is just as good. I'll say that. I'll back that 100% till the day I die. Force Wheels is literally just as good as Spitfire. I'll say that
I've
till the day I
had
die.
one pair, and they're still good.
They probably, dude, they last. Everyone's like, oh, I get Formula 4s. Okay. Well, if you get a pair of Force Wheels and you don't obviously try to flat spot them, like people like, oh, I get flat spot on the first day. You tried. You literally kept power sliding down a hill. Any wheel will flat spot power sliding down a hill. Force Wheels, if you actually take care of them, maybe give them a week just to break in, that wheel will last you for so long. Like, it's just the same as Formula 4.
The first wheel I bought was, I think, the skull on it a couple years ago. I still have them. I had to switch color. So
What size did you get?
54s.
Okay.
I'm a 54 dude, or a 55.
All right.
I did have OJ 53s, which OJs are good too. I like OJs.
Simi, I think Simi rides for OJ, or gets product from, I don't know. But, yeah, they look pretty good. But, like I said, dude, Force, people don't think that Force, like, competes, but it 100% competes with all of those companies.
Right.
It is just as good as Bones. You're hearing it from me right now. Just as good as Bones and Spitfire and OJ and all those other companies. Forces, they have their shit together. They really do. And I will say that I ride for them. I'm not saying that. I'd literally ride Force Wheels if I did not ride for Force. I would still ride Force Wheels.
You just rock them.
Yeah, they're incredible
if
wheels.
If Andy would just cut you, you'd be fine and be like,
yeah, I would.
still
100, well, obviously, I'd be bummed.
Right.
But I would 100% be like, no, I'm still gonna back
ride.
Force Wheels because they're incredible. That's what I know now. Like, it's literally, it's no different than riding a because I rode Formula 4s before that. Before I was on Force, I rode Formula 4s.
When did you get on Force, by the way?
Man.
Like, how did that were you?
I know how it happened. I don't know exactly when it was.
This is a good story.
But I remember one day I get a text from Andy. Or no, I think it was a call. I think he called me. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he called me and was just like, "Hey man, like we were like, I don't know, I guess like your skating or whatever," and it was just like, "So do you want to ride for this new company I'm starting, like Force Wheels?" And I remember just looking at the phone and just being like, yeah. I was like, yes. And that was when I the only reason that I'll have to shout out Beanie for this. The only reason that Andy probably found out, he obviously knew about me, but the only reason I think I got like shined light on was the fact that Beanie like took me to shred quarters, like when it was like just the flat bar and shit.
Yeah,
he took me all.
Was it
like,
the first warehouse before they added the part?
Yeah, the first one. I had a warehouse,
which is
Wednesday
actually the
there.
same one, right?
It's the other side.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's the other side.
Because they never really changed.
Yeah, they never changed it up. Well, they did. Obviously, they had that other warehouse, but yeah, I have to give the credit to Beanie. Shout out Beanie.
Again.
Fucking he literally like. They already knew about me, and Andy told me like off camera. He was like, "Yo, like I was going to ask you anyway," but he was just like, he didn't say it, but I knew for a fact that Beanie was like the one that like brought me to light, because Beanie would take me to the warehouse and then Andy would be like, "Oh, you want to do like this?" I'd be like, "Yeah, for sure, definitely." And then it ended up just being like randomly one day. So he is funny because he asked my homie Aiden, or I call him Baby Man. He asked Baby Man, and he was going to ask me after, I guess. And he asked Baby Man, and Baby Man like was riding for Spitfire at the time, I guess.
And he didn't want to leave Spitfire.
And yeah, he didn't want to like ruin that or whatever. But then
Right.
Andy like hit me up like right afterwards, and I just immediately, like I said, like I was just like, yeah, like for sure, like
sidetrack.
I was like, I literally look up to you guys, like I will 100% ride for you.
How did you and your relationship with James Couch come about?
Okay, that's another funny story.
Because I want to know.
Basically, I mean, obviously, you know, I do contests Like I've
Right.
done contests like when I was like younger and shit.
I've seen you in a couple of them. Like
Yeah,
Cowtown,
I mean,
like 08,
Obviously,
18.
when I was younger, I used to win a lot of contests, and then there was one. It was like it wasn't really a contest; it was more like a jam. It was at Lawrenceburg Skate Park, and I remember skating there, whatever. And then I didn't know who Kelch was at the time.
Right.
Kelch comes up to me and he's like,
I was gonna say what I didn't want to.
"But yeah, man, that's basically how I got on Health Cool. It was just like a random occurrence." And eventually, I just started hitting him back up, and he just was like, "Oh, you want to?" He literally he called me one day and was like, "Do you want to ride for Hella Cool?" I was like, "Yeah." Still not really knowing who he was, like the extent of who James Kelch is. Not even knowing, and then eventually I was like, "Oh my God, wait, this dude's actually a legend. This is like really fucked up."
It's the best, dude.
It's insane. Like I never even like realized that until like I was like actually on Hella Cool, which is I'm glad I did because I ended up liking Kelch for who he was instead of
All right,
even knowing
side
who the hell
note.
he was.
April Fool's joke. Best fucking shit ever.
Yeah, I actually, you know, what I got the other day is actually I have one of those Force decks now.
I got it hanging up. I bought
Really?
one. Yeah.
That
bought
Casey
one.
gave me one when I went to the shred course the other day. Dude, you know how many people, it just trips me out how many people actually believe me.
Well-
There's people still messaging me being like, "Why do you have a Hella Cool now?"
Remember when I hit you up? You're like, yeah, like it's for real. I'm like, and then the next day it's like, I'm joking.
I had to, dude. I had to like play it off like, oh man, that was I literally cannot believe how many people actually fell for that. Like, come on.
It took me a couple minutes to figure it out, but it got me. You got me for a good hour.
I'm glad I got some. I'm glad I got some people.
because it was
just-
like you, Doug, and a few other people who write for.
It would
Force.
make it. All right, this is the thing.
was the
It's
same
almost like it really would make sense, which is really fucked up. Is the fact that
honestly,
if
it
Force
wouldn't
made
change
boards, like
anything.
it would actually make sense. But I could never do that to Hella Cool or Kelch. But the fact that it actually like that's 100% a possible thing was like that definitely made it like the factor was like, oh, people are gonna believe this now. Because I mean, you gotta think that could be a thing. Force could randomly stop making wheels and just make boards, and no one would bat an eye about it. You know what I mean? But this is what I thought everyone would be like. Okay, there's not a real thing. First off, the way I worded it. Second off, the fact that he already has Revive and 3 Block. Why in the hell would he make a third board company? That would just be horrible for him. And he just had another kid. Shout out Cyrus. Cyrus is sick. But yeah, like I thought people would completely like catch on. I literally thought everyone would be like, "Oh yeah." But no, people still message me to this day about, "Oh, why do you have a Hella Cool board? I thought you ride for Force boards." Like, come on.
The best joke Andy ever made up.
It was the best thing ever.
Seriously.
You know what I messed up though? I didn't post it. I posted on my story that it was an April Fool's joke, so obviously the story gets deleted after a while.
Oh,
So hella
24
people
hours.
really thought that like that was like a legit post because they didn't see my story on Instagram. Like, oh my god. But got a bunch of people.
oh yeah. How'd you?
I don't even remember that, honestly. It's been so long, dude. How many years has it been? Like 8 years.
Yeah, you're still on the guy.
Yeah. No, I was on Etnies when I got on Red Room.
Yeah, you were. That was there was this like random contest in Anderson, Indiana, at the Anderson Plaza, and him, Callan, and Baby Man, Aiden, showed up and they skated. And after the contest, was like, "Hey, you guys want to ride for Red Room?" And all three of them were like, "Yeah." And then like I think it was like a week later, Aiden got on Huff, and he was like, "Hey man, like I got an opportunity with Huff. Like, is it cool?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like, you know, blossom, little flower." Like. Sorry, I didn't mean to like do that. Like, but yeah, you know, like that's how it is. Like, and there's been other people that I've like hooked up, and it's like they get opportunities, and I don't want to hold nobody back. All I'm here is to do is lift people up. You know, like I'm just trying to skate and have
That's
fun.
honestly what I respect the most about Kyle is honestly like, regardless of any of us get like a crazy like clothing sponsor or anything, I'm still even, alright, say I got sponsored by Supreme tomorrow. I would still 100% go on every single Red Room trip because this is my family. Yeah, like I would 100%. I don't give a shit. Like I would 100%. Obviously, I'm not going to get sponsored.
Like
by
I'm
Supreme or anything
slowly
crazy.
joining into the Red Rum crew family. Like I feel like the more I'm hanging out with Kyle, because I've known
Red Room
Kyle,
doesn't even have to be a brand, dude.
I've
Red
known
Room's
Kyle-
literally just like the Red Room crew. Literally, like
I've
that's
known
us.
Kyle for what, a couple years now.
Yeah.
First time actually seeing you was probably Chicago 2017. Was like
That
the
was
first.
crazy. You were just randomly.
No, I was on a summer trip, I was on a summer trip up North Chicago, and Ryan's like, "Yo, I'm down here in Chicago," and I'm like, "Yo, I'm up North Chicago. I'm gonna come down. Let's go." Because like the day before that, it was practice for Damn Am, and then there was. We cut out. I guess I left. When we left, I left around 5. Whatever. I had to leave. It was before.
Weird thing is that was the first hours before we left for Chicago was when I met Ryan.
Really?
Yeah. At One Love Skate Shop.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, we were talking about going to Damn Am, and he's like, "Damn, I'm trying to go," and he is like, "Wait, I think my dude Mikey's going." Mikey's my cousin. He didn't know that at the time, and it was just crazy because Mikey had just started skating, and like he had like.
That was like one of the first dudes I met moving back to Ohio from Texas.
It was sick though.
Yeah, it's all weird how it all worked out, man. You know.
Yeah, and this year I'm taking these dudes right here, Damn Am New York and Tampa Am. We've been doing Damn Am Chicago, Damn Am New York. This year we're doing Damn Am New York, Tampa Am. So it's gonna be pretty fucking sick.
Can't wait for
Damn
that.
Am New York is the funnest one.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it
gonna
at
run
the-
up.
Although Tampa Am is probably going to be really
Tampa
fun.
Am is just gonna be an experience.
It ain't gonna
And
be shit.
Yeah, I've never been to any of those contests, so I'm like extremely hyped to go
Tampa
into
Am is
Tampa
pretty
Am.
big, like the biggest.
I
Yeah.
know the competition, but
I don't. All right, this is my thing with those. I know I'm not going to win Damn Am or Tampa Am. I don't
Right.
care.
I'm not gonna win it.
I'm not going to win. I just love skating with everybody. That's my thing, and I love obviously going on trips with these guys. Like it's like the best. Like that's the experience alone. I don't give a fuck about how good I do in the contest.
Like I'm pretty sure the Zoomies Best Foot Forward last year, you were having fun.
Oh, which one? The one I got second in?
The one I filmed, I think it was last summer. Were you there? You were there.
I was definitely in it.
Yeah, you're.
There was
definitely
one
in
that I lost to that Dave Dixon dude.
No, you were having fun for sure.
Oh, I was probably just chilling.
No, this year you were chilling. This year.
Oh, this year I didn't even. Yeah, I didn't even.
Yeah,
I didn't even deal with that.
He's like,
the cool thing about Tampa is because I'm from South Florida, I know
Right.
all the people in Tampa and St. Pete, so we ain't got to pay for a hotel this year for Tampa Am.
you just show up and
Show up and show out. You know what I mean? You're urban.
Yerp.
go.
The skateboard. That's the best part about skateboarding is somebody can come out. Somebody from like Montana can come and skate the DC Plaza, and like we just happen to be there and skate with them and stuff, and like you get that skate vibe, you know.
Get that connection.
Then like we could just randomly plan a trip to Montana, and those dudes are gonna let us crash on their floor, just like people. I've had my dude from Albuquerque, like they came out here and stayed with me for a week. You know, where's Ginger? Where's Ginger 2's coming out soon?
It's just all that connection, dude.
it's not what you know, it's who you know.
So since trips, whatever, I got one more question, and then we'll.
Sure.
Best force trip.
Force trip.
Yeah.
All right. I hate putting it like it's not like putting him on the spot, but like there was one trip where it was the first trip to LA. First time I've ever been to California,
I've never been.
and they paid for everything. Obviously, it was fried. And then we went to the gas station, and I went to go buy a Gatorade and like a snack. Andy and Brian look at me and say, "Don't you dare take your wallet out for the rest of the trip." And I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "No, you're not paying for anything." And that was probably the craziest trip. Like, I mean, I got to skate Griffith Park and all those like the schoolyards. I got to meet Beeble and Costin and all those
was
people.
that, like, a couple years
yeah,
ago?
yeah,
Yeah,
Remember
I
that?
remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like how that picture? Yeah, all that, like Chris Ray and all those dudes. That was probably the craziest trip I've ever been on.
Legend.
That was very crazy because Mikey Taylor and all those dudes. Well, weed's legal in Ohio now, I think.
And,
Brandon Biebel rolled up my weed at the spot. Like he was like, "Oh, Braden, yo, you just got the weed. Like, yo, I got the papers. Like, he just got you. Like, come up, roll it up." So they rolled up. It was just crazy. That like whole situation was fucked. Like, just hanging out with like we were literally watching Costin like film for Chronicles 3. It was fucked. He was trying 180 switch nose manual, switchback 3, but he couldn't do it. And that was supposed to be for like Chronicles. Yeah, dude, it was like a fucking wild. That was probably the craziest trip I've ever been on. Or, actually, oh man, well, it's not a forced trip, but that DC trip that I went on last was fucked. Kalis calling us while we're at B-Dubs and being like, "Hey, come to this restaurant," and like we met up with Kalis and like that was wild. Went to this restaurant, I couldn't pronounce anything on the menu. It was fucked.